This video shows you how to fit the BMW Z3 Seat Lifters. This is an image of the seat in its normal position. For comparison, this is a seat with the spacers fitted. You should note that you will need to move the seat about an inch further forward so your foot still reaches the accelerator pedal and the brakes. This has the advantage that it allows you to tilt the seat further back. There are 4 seat lifters available: a 10mm, 15mm, 20mm and 25mm. The 10 and 15mm lifters use 2 aluminium machined wedges, 2 small plastic wedges and 2 extended nuts, as well as the original rear bolts. The 20 and 25mm lifters used 2 aluminium machined wedges, 2 small plastic wedges, 2 zinc plated sleeve nuts, 2 8.8 grade studs, as well as the original nuts and bolts. To fit the spacers, first you need to remove the nuts and bolts from the seat. Move the seat fully forward and, using a 16mm socket, remove the rear bolts. Flip the seat upright, slide the seat fully to the rear and, using a 13mm socket, remove the front nuts. To fit the 10 to 15mm lifters, lift the seat forward and also slide the seat forward. You need to expose the holes for the rear bolts. Fit the small plastic wedges flat side down. Lift the seat back into position over the rear bolt holes, but don't fit the bolts. Slide the seat backwards. Fit the front wedges and make sure they are properly seated. Fit the extended nuts. Screw them all the way down, but don't tighten them. Slide the seat fully forward and tighten the rear bolts. Make sure the head of the bolt is inside the recess in the seat frame. Slide the seat backwards and tighten the front nuts. To fit the 20 to 25mm lifters, lift the seat forward and also slide the seat forward. You need to expose the holes for the rear bolts. Fit the small plastic wedges flat side down. Lift the seat back into position over the rear bolt holes, but don't fit the bolts. Slide the seat backwards. Screw down the sleeve nuts and then turn them back approximately 1/4 of a turn. Screw the studs into the sleeve nuts so they are tight against the floor studs. Fit the front wedges and make sure they are properly seated. Slide the seat fully forward and tighten the rear bolts. Make sure the head of the bolt is inside the recess in the seat frame. Slide the seat backwards and fit and tighten the front nuts. You may upset the wiring to the seat belt pyrotechnics. If you do, you will need to reset the airbag light. Here are some comparisons to show the difference the spacers make to the seating position. First, the difference between no spacer and a 10mm spacer. Next, the difference between the 10mm and the 15mm spacers. The 15 and 20mm spacers. And the 20 and 25mm spacers. finally, the difference between having no spacer and the 25mm spacer. The seat also needs to be moved forward so your feet reach the pedals. This table shows the approximate differences the spacers make. I suggest that you use some homemade spacers to help you make the best decision.